Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on project design, management, and mentorship. In this session, we are going to explore how international projects are developed, starting from the very first idea and moving all the way through implementation and improvement. The goal is not only to understand the theory behind this project, but also to see how they work in practice. We will look at how to design a strong and coherent project, how to manage it effectively once it has been approved, and how mentoring can support organization through the entire journey. Okay, so before we begin, let's take a moment to understand the structure of this session. We will start with project design because this is where everything begins. Then we will move to project management, focusing on how to coordinate activities and ensure that the project is implemented successfully. Finally, we will explore mentoring in internationalization and see how it helps our organization improve both the quality of their projects and their ability to participate in international programs. Okay. So when it comes to project design, designing an international project is not simply about filling in an application form. It is about building a project that makes sense, that responds to real needs, and that can generate a meaningful impact. As shown in this slide, the process includes several key steps, starting from understanding the needs and moving through defining objectives, identifying results, and planning concrete actions. Each of these steps is connected, and together they can create the foundation of a strong project. So, the first step, as we said, is need analysis. And this is probably the most important one. At this stage, the objective is to clearly understand the context in which you're working. This means identifying the challenges, the gaps, and the opportunities that exist. It is not enough to have an idea that sounds generally interesting. A good project must be based on a real and well-defined needs. And this requires research, data analysis, and dialogue with stakeholders. It also means staying informed about current trends and policies, especially in an international environment. When the needs analysis is done properly, it provides a solid justification for the entire project. And yeah, it's like a solid justification for the entire project. Moving on, once the needs are clearly identified, the next step is to define the objectives and the expected results. Objective describes what the project aims to achieve, while results refer to the concrete changes that will happen as a consequence of the project. These elements must be clear, realistic, and measurable. Most importantly, they must be directly linked to the needs that were identified earlier. This alignment is essential because it ensures that the project remains coherent and focused, and that all activities contribute to a common goal. At this point, we can move into the design phase. So this is where the initial idea is transformed into a structured and detailed proposal. It involves defining the activities that will be carried out, the resources that will be needed, and the budget required to implement the project. But designing a project is not only a technical exercise, it also involves collaboration and communication. It requires listening to partners, aligning different perspectives, and working together to build something that is shared and coherent. A well-designed project is one where all elements are logically connected and clearly justified. An essential component of any international project is the partnership. So projects of this kind are based on collaboration between organizations, often from different countries and contexts. And this means that choosing the right partner is a critical step. Partners should have complementary expertise, shared interest, and the capacity to contribute actively to the project. At the same time, it is important to define roles clearly and to ensure a balanced distribution of tasks and responsibilities. So, strong partnership creates strong projects, and they are often a key factor in the success of an application. Once the project is designed and approved, the focus shifts to project management. So, project management is what ensures that everything happens as planned. It involves coordinating activities, managing resources, and maintaining effective communication among partners. It is also about keeping the project aligned with its objectives, monitoring progress, and making adjustments when necessary. In many ways, project management is what turns good ideas into a really successful project. Planning is a central part of project management. It involves organizing the work in a structured way by defining tasks, timelines, and responsibilities. This helps ensure that all partners know what is expected from them and when. At the same time, planning is not only operational but also strategic. It is based on a clear understanding of the context, a shared vision of what the project wants to achieve, and a set of defined goals. A good plan provides directions and helps keep the project on track over time. International projects, especially those funded by programs like Erasmus follow a structured administrative process. This process includes several phases, starting from the application, moving through project selection and grant agreement, and continuing with the implementation, financial management, monitoring, and evaluation. Each of these phases requires attention and accuracy. In particular, financial management and reporting are crucial as they ensure transparency and accountability throughout the whole project. Another key aspect of project management is monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring allows us to track progress and check whether activities are being implemented as planned. Evaluation, on the other hand, focused on assessing the results and the overall impact of the project. At the same time, risk management plays an important role. It involves identifying potential challenges in advance and preparing strategies to address them. Together, these elements help ensure that the project remains effective, flexible, and responsive. Let's move now to mentoring. So, mentoring is a structured process of support that accompanies organizations throughout the entire project lifecycle. It starts from the early stages of idea development and continues through design, implementation, and evaluation. The purpose of mentoring is to improve the quality of projects and to strengthen the capacity of organizations to engage in international cooperation. Mentoring is particularly valuable for organizations that are new to international projects. For this organization, the process can be complex and sometimes overwhelming. Mentoring helps them understand how funding programs works, how to develop a strong proposal, and how to avoid common mistakes. It also helps build confidence and supports organization in becoming more active and effective participants in international initiatives. A useful framework for understanding mentoring is the SAM approach. SAM is a project that was implemented by Mundus. This approach presents mentoring as a step-by-step process, starting from understanding the context and needs, moving through defining objectives and planning actions, and continuing with implementation and improvement. What is important here is that mentoring is not a one-time intervention, but a continuous process that supports learning, reflection, and development over time. To conclude, successful international projects require a combination of strong design, effective management, and continuous support through mentoring. Each of these elements plays a crucial role, and together they contribute to creating projects that are not only well structured, but also impactful and sustainable. Thank you very much for your attention.